At the Shop Moto 247 Cup that we were gonna do after our championship and the Supercross, the Game 3 series that we had going on back in, I think it was like in August was our last round. But kind of been away from the whole gaming aspect of this, and just decided to throw this video together here late Friday night since we didn't get in a podcast this week for the first two rounds of the crazy 21 Supercross season. We on fire, smelling in the burn metal, third levels. That's how they know I'm blessed like the third metal. Words settling in chest like a jersey number. Get them out the way, they gon' go early summer. With the pen and pad, I'm Jordan with a second left. Scorching with an action that we swore you couldn't catch a breath. Worse than your worst nightmare, feeding them air. Somebody go and get the hot chair. You got your mind, you think that we came to lose, you came to snooze. We major moves, the confidence. This is just a winner's ambition. Accepting nothing less than greatness in the transmission. Yeah. Oh shit. Well, screw this. I'm gonna get into some online lobbies, and until then, I guess we'll start with the 2021 Supercross season. It's been a crazy one, and I really wanted to do a podcast, but we didn't have the time this week. So I guess starting out with H1, that was definitely a crazy one. The thing I really don't like is how low the lap times are on these tracks. It's crazy. I was thinking back when Supercross came back to Detroit, I think it was 2014, after being away for like 6 years or so, and it seems like the lap times were 52, 54, 55 seconds long. And then coming back, and it was hitting the high 40s, which I was like, man, that's super low. Why are we in the high 40s here? And now we're here in 2021, and we're in the low 40s, and it's kind of a different thing this year because the Dirtworks crew they have to be working their ass off, going from making a Supercross track, having it ready for Saturday night, then going and having that ready for again for the second round on Tuesday night. So like obviously they have a lot of work they have, and hopefully that's the reason. Hopefully it's not trending in the low 40 or just having 40-second lap time tracks in the future after hopefully after the whole Corona deal. So let me see if I can pick a lobby here. Yeah, so really hoping they're not doing that, and yeah, I think Craig was running like a 41-second lap time. I'm pretty sure that was in H2 there, and not only was that track super low lap time wise, but man, that looks so fast. It really kind of reminded me of like a European Supercross race. If you go back and look at the off-season races throughout the years, you see like Tim Geiser and all those guys, man, they're hauling those like a real Supercross track. They're super fast, and I gotta give major props to those guys, because those guys are somehow railing at the speeds they are, but it's not really your traditional Supercross track. Super fast, and I was surprised in the first run how low the lap times were, but it was somewhat like a real Supercross track though, but it was extremely tight, which didn't make the racing too good, at least as a fan watching it. I don't know, it didn't seem too intriguing there. And going into round two, that track was extremely fast, and it made it a little bit closer, but it wasn't as good as a normal Supercross race to watch. In that sand section, every time, like whatever guy was on the screen at the time, you kind of have to tense up for him. That sand section was gnarly, having that, and it seems like something you would see on this game, Supercross the Game 3 here, where you're having like a sand section into like the first jump of it being a sand jump, and that's crazy. Hopefully they don't have that too much. I know a lot of people are debating on sand being in Supercross at all, but yeah, that whole thing was crazy, and looks like Chase Sexton's not too hurt right now, so that's really good to hear, because that crash was so gnarly. But yeah, so I guess after, what was I talking about? Craig looking really good. I forgot where I left off with that, but in Houston 1, he just looked like a different rider. He's been fast ever since he came back in 2015 obviously being on a factory team with Geico for those 5 years there. Seems like he just has a huge fire under him for 2021 here and on that Star Racing Yamaha, looking super good, and just that aggressiveness that he had, and even in the second round, like, man, he looks super good. And kind of stinks in the second round. He kind of dropped back in third, so it's kind of back there. But really, but he still showed that like raw speed there. Jet, he was on a different level there. And also one thing I want to bring up was Faulkner. Like, he has some incredible speed. This has to be like his 4th year of being pro now. I could have swore he went. I'm pretty sure he went pro in 2016 outdoor season. It was his first pro Supercross. I think it was 2017. 2016 or 2017. So what, 4 or 5 years now. And he's still making the same dumb mistakes. I'm not sure how far down he is in the points. But you think of a rider that's supposed to kind of be a better 250 class, they could be making those same mistakes. Let Jet Lawrence win. Jet's a 7 joke. And it goes super good. And obviously, everyone knows Jet has the speed, but hopefully he doesn't make the same mistakes for Faulkner. And throughout the years, yeah, hopefully Houston 3 will be as fast as Houston 2 was. Just, well, you gotta think that Dirtworks has a little bit more time now from round 2 to round 3 from the first 2 rounds, so hopefully they can, and I felt like I said hopefully the other times, just, you know, hopefully it's not a low left hand track. And I hate the mud on these guys. But yeah, looking at the layouts for the first couple rounds, that thing wasn't that bad. And I was watching the excellent races that Houston won. Props to those guys. That thing was so sick. They have like opening ceremonies. And I was watching that, and from what I saw on there, the Houston 1 layout was going to be sick in real life. They kind of changed some things, like there was supposed to be that double over the starting line, and they made it like instead of like a big double, it was a little jump. I don't think they're even jumping it. It was pretty big, the deuce in the first round. And I should pull the Houston 3 layout here, so see how that is. I haven't done that up. But like, I don't really know what to do for predictions, because the tracks are, I feel like they're going to be completely different than traditional style Supercross tracks. Like, I don't know when the last time we saw a track like round 2 was that wasn't in like some overseas off-season race. So I don't really know what to do for predictions, because if we're seeing that all season, I'm going to go with Jet Lawrence. But if not, man, I'm really feeling Christian Craig's going to have a strong season if we're having more traditional style Supercross layout of the track. But I just have a good feeling about Craig coming back. Like I said earlier, just watch, even if you didn't even watch his race, you just watch the end of it when he crossed the finish line. That leading up to the podium, you can see the fire he is right now. 251 west, or east. Messing up here. 250 east going first. 250 east is, it's not as deep as 250 west is going to be, but those top guys, you got Craig, you got Lawrence, Faulkner, Hampshire, you know, those top guys are really fast. And it's, you know, really competitive between those guys. I feel like Craig can really do something here, and after this race, I'll do something here and see how these are. And also, they're having races at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so we'll see how that is. I think it's from West Coast. was looking at some other layouts. Orlando looked really cool. I can make it up on that. This whole thing is messing me up with the East and West Coast. I have no idea. There has to be some reason behind this, but I don't know why West wouldn't go first. It's not like it'd be one thing if they moved West Coast second because we're actually going over the West Coast on the side of the states, and they're racing in western states. But no, they're having West Coast start in Orlando, Florida. So after being in Arlington, Houston right now, so it makes no sense. And I feel like one thing with that, and it seems like every year at least try to predict who's going to race which coast. It seems like a lot of people decided to hold off and race West Coast, and man, that's going to be a good 2 or 3 race. This track is tough right here. It's so downtown. But yeah, the 50 class is going to be stacked. We're going to watch the videos on Instagram. A lot of fast guys. And I feel like me, along with everyone else in the motocross industry, is always talking about every year. Never seen a field this stacked before, ever. And year in year, we say it again and again. And I'm going to say it again this year because I feel like definitely both classes, 250, 450, I feel like we've ever seen the field this big before, this stacked. And it's like a lot of these guys in the 250 class couldn't get factory rides, which is insane. You got Garrett Marchbanks, that one Daytona, he looked good last year until he got hurt. And unfortunate injury there, but up until then, he looked real good. He couldn't get a factory ride, which was really a bummer, but I feel like that Club Effects team's going to come out swinging. Pretty sure they have a 5-rider lineup here for the 250 West Coast. That team is looking so strong this year. It's really cool to see them along with the other satellite teams. Every year kind of go stronger and stronger. It's cool thing to see this whole coronavirus thing going on. You got like them, that what do you call it, Muck-Off Honda now. Those guys coming over, and really cool to see that because they are an Australian team, so for them to come over the States, and I don't know what their plans are here, how long they're staying over. I know with the whole coronavirus, everything's up in the air. Let's see if I can pull up the track maps right now. But you got them, you got that new team, the Michael Lindsay's team. I think it's a year old now. You got the FXR Chaparral Honda team. That team's looking really good. You got Carson Mumford on it. Somehow he couldn't get a factory ride this year, which is kind of crazy. And seeing his videos on Instagram, it looks like he's hauling. And then going back to that Club Max Yamaha team, like they're looking like they're gonna come out firing on all cylinders. Like I said, Marchbanks looks really good. Joey Crown looks really good. Jace Owen, again, looks really good. And not only does that team look like they're really fast, the bikes look good and everything, but just that environment that they're in seems really cool. Brandon at club is always posting cool videos. Seems like whenever I'm at my lunch break at work, there's always a new video up, and it's really cool and entertaining to watch those guys. And if you haven't already, you should definitely check it out. Vermoto and Club posted it. It was a few weeks back of one of their Supercross tracks. It seems like they have like a million Supercross tracks. One of them that the club team was riding on that day was gnarly. It was completely tore off. Come on, so change my rider there. It was completely tore up. The ruts were insane. It was, no, Joey was on there. Joey, and it might have been Garrett. I forgot who the second rider was, but those guys were hauling on that, so it was really cool to see. And yeah, I feel like every year that team's getting stronger and stronger, and if you go back to when that team really came together, I know Brandon was saying in an interview that he had a team going back. I forgot exactly when he said it was. like 2012 or something with Vince Freezy. But shoot, when was that first year with Club and Redemption Racing? They raced Supercross and they went over to Canada to do the Canadian Outdoor Series. They had Joey on there, Joey Crown, and Josh Osby. And that had to be like 4 years ago now. But my whole point is behind this is it's so cool to see, because each year they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and hopefully they're really close to a factory team, because I think they really deserve it. And it's gonna be cool this year because you're gonna see a lot of satellite guys, especially in the 250 West class, beat the factory guys, which is, for all those satellite teams, not like it matters. Like, a lot of them are on East Coast, so they don't do West Coast, or a lot of them are also in California, so they don't go all the way to the East Coast. With them all being on the East Coast, it's surprising. More satellite teams, especially, just more, I guess, everyone in general, especially the satellite teams on the East Coast, because, like I said a couple minutes ago, you got the Frill, excuse me, playing, we got Total Squid, I get those down now, Randy, whatever we're talking about. But, yeah, like, you got the guys that can potentially win the main events, like Hampshire, Craig, Faulkner, and Jet, and Colt Nichols. That's 250 class, 250 East class. You got those guys, then it really drops off. You notice if you watch the heat races, or I guess any race, really, throughout the night show, it really drops off. So, for the privateers, that has been great for them. Definitely thought a couple more teams over the East Coast, but apparently not. The West is the same stack, kind of jumping over the 450 class. And Marshall leading the points somehow. Everyone was joking. They're not joking. Everyone was laughing at the fact, or they were extremely pissed, just kind of laughing on the fact that Troy Lee, Troy Lee Gas, like, actually went through a lot of work, it looked like, that made that whole teaser on Justin Barsha winning 8-1 again for the third year in a row. Me, along with the co-host on the Moto 247 show, Dean Taylor, we're talking, like, their Photoshop skills or whatever, like, whatever they did, I don't know how they did it, but, like, man, that looks extremely good. And it turns out, it was later on that they actually rented out Anaheim Stadium, put a freestyle ramp into like an airbag jump, the Photoshop, and then they had, them walking into the stadium and doing all those extra scenes that they did. I thought it was really funny that they did that. But I was really looking forward to Houston 1 to see how Justin was going to do. And see if he kind of acted it up, because it was kind of embarrassing to do that. Come out in Houston 1 and get like 10th, which is like not far from being a possibility at all, because of how stacked the field is this year. Like we saw Tomac this year, but I don't know what exactly the guy Houston 1 was, like 13th or so, 14th, I don't know. He was back there, especially. That's kind of due to that track. That track sucked fast, but even, let's say if it's a normal Supercross track, this field is insanely stacked. I know they talked about it on the broadcast, but how many champions there are in that class, in the 250 and 450 class combined. And there, you got Anderson, you've got a 450 title, Osborne got an outdoor title. I guess that's a little different, but still a champion. Eli, I can go off the guys, almost a whole main event lineup. But you got all those guys in there, it's so stacked. And man, the starts are going to be crucial this year if they're going to be these tight tracks that are hard to pass on, or if they're going to be, these super fast tracks, because like we saw in Houston too, because it's going to be like another thing, or it's going to be the same thing in a whole different type of layout. Go to Houston 1, hard to make up time. And used to do kind of a different reason, but also hard to make up time. We saw Christian and Craig get through the pack, catches up, or gets in the second. Jet's gone, and we saw with Adam and Chase. The track's so fast it can bite you at any moment. So a lot of guys are the sand section go down as well. But yeah, those starts are gonna be crucial. It's like a thing. A broken record every year. Starts are crucial. This field is so stacked, but I think every year it's more of a truth than I know how you put that more of a, or I guess it would be true every year. It's, we've never seen a field this stacked. It's getting to a point that's really crazy because before, if you go back 15 years, you got like there's a lot of nice guys still, don't get me wrong, but yeah, if you guys tune into this video, the gameplay aspect of this, it sucks. And this, see if I can put on a year, probably not. But like I was saying, if you go back to 15 years, you got Bubba, you got Ricky, you got Chad, and you got a couple other factors, guys that are pretty fast as well. And if one of those guys kind of max start, you see him catch up, and it'd be super easy to catch up. Well, at least it made it look easy. You catch up, and you catch up the third or fourth. It's like if they got fourth, that was like the worst case scenario. Like now, I think Tomac or anyone, Anderson, they have the right used to do. If you see even Kukulev, another past champion in the 450 class, you see one of those guys get a bad start, they're gonna have a hard time catching up. And I know a lot of people talk crap about it on social media. Kukulev, for example, let's say he gets 10. They're going to talk crap, but if he gets a 15th place start, those guys from 10th to 15, those guys are incredibly talented, incredibly fast guys. And this year, and another thing, I guess I'll finish up my thought before I come back to it. What I was saying is the consistency is going to be huge. And again, another glow in the dark, I think, is the whole Dungey thing. I feel like Dungey would shine now, but consistency is key. Even if you can show the speed, but you're inconsistent, it's going to come back and bite you. That's true every year, and I'm maybe tempted to use pull it off way more easier. But this year, it's like honestly, like if you don't put yourself in a good position in the first lap or two, you're kind of screwed. No matter how fast you are, if you're on another level or not, especially with the track layouts too. It seemed, like I said a couple minutes ago, it's hard enough with how deep the field is and how stacked how stacked the class is. But yeah, the starts are gonna be huge, and it's unfortunate for Tomac. I'm a huge Tomac fan, and to see him get horrible starts really sucks. But yeah, then getting into my other point I was going to say a second ago was, we got the coronavirus going on. Not only is it going to affect the layouts of the track, the schedule of the track obviously, and when we're racing or not, if they have to cancel races or all that nonsense that's been going on. Also, they test those guys all the time, so if someone tests positive for corona, obviously they can't race. Like, I guess you can do any example. Broxton wins 4 races in a row, then he misses 1 race due to a positive test for the coronavirus. How long is he going to have to sit out? Are they going to make him, like, heck, if they have 3 races in 1 week, a span of 1 week, doing a Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday again, is he going to miss 3 rounds? And I wasn't even thinking about that when I started to talk about this topic, but just 1 round's enough. That's potentially 26 points you're missing out on. And if he's gonna miss 20, what's that? Over 78 if my math is correct. horrible at math there, about 78 points, I think that is, right? 3 rounds of 26, if you know, potentially you can get 26 points if you win. Heck, even if you earn what's like 4th or 5th, like 18 points or something around there, that's almost 60 points you're giving up there. So if someone tests positive, no matter if they feel fine or what, they're gonna have to sit out. And hopefully we don't get into that where it's at the end of the season and we see one of the guys in the title hunt, heck, even any guy in the class that's, you know, getting into the main events, or just, heck, anyone in general, it's going to be really unfortunate for them. But if they're in the title hunt, I guess, not even at the end of the season, like, at any point of the season, and they're in it in the points, and they're going to have to sit out potentially a round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Or even, like, I'm hearing people that are testing positive, or they don't get a negative test for like 2 weeks, so man, they're gonna get screwed out of some rounds. So that's gonna be a huge thing this season that we're gonna have to take into consideration here, along with like everything. I feel like this whole season, every aspect is something that we have obviously not seen before. Like how Rise, the fact they're racing 2-3 races a week, or I guess they are racing 2-3 races a week, and it's at the same stadium too. So I'm all over the place here. But yeah, if you go back, if you're a Supercross fan in general, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you go back even last year, 2019, 2018, you go back and watch a random Supercross race, let's say, this is the Minneapolis 2019 layout. Just look how technical this is compared to Houston too. So, anyways, before I went on whatever rant I was on, after I was talking about bar shop, getting back to that, all over the place here. If you guys see the 7 show, we're definitely which honestly don't care about it all. I'm trying to touch on every topic, but yeah, like going back to bar shop, it looks like they spent some cashola on that whole gas that when they did a promotional thing. So it's kind of cool to put out there. KTM version 3. But yeah, Barsha looked really good. Everyone was talking about it. Motocross related account at all. Barsha was being talked about. Can he win his 3rd Supercross opener in a row? My Rocky Mountain picks, I did not pick him. I don't even remember I picked him. I think I might have gave him some love by picking him in like the top 4 or something, but did not. Did not have him winning. I mean, somehow gotta give major props to the guy. He held Roxon off. Roxon was all over him. Battle and he raced along with me, man. That's what he looked like the old Bam Bam. He just looked super comfortable and coming out of his 250 career looking so aggressive, looking so good. And unfortunately, he's just been tamed down now with the traditional Bam Bam. And I feel like the last couple of years of him being on the Yamaha, he's had moments of the Bam Bam, the old Bam Bam style he's had in the past, but not consistently. But this year, he's looking like he's really gelling, and from what I'm hearing, it looks like he's really digging that gas bike. And yeah, hopefully he's back to his old self, and if so, that's another rider to throw into the mix of that could potentially be a winner any given night. So we got him, and so he wins Houston 1. everyone, okay, cool, that's really sick that he was able to do that, but how is he going to do it in round 2? If you follow the sport at all, you probably caught that. Along with me and everyone else. And, I'm doing so many minutes right now. Trying to get a good section. Anyways, I guess getting back to the rant, where was I at? Marshall, yeah. Okay, round 2. Different style track, but he was around that top 10. But the thing was, he came out, him and Rox were buried in the pack, so I was thinking that they're going to come back together. I think everyone else was thinking that as well. And unfortunately, they did not. Rox came up. Damn, they did not. But after a couple days, we found out the reason for that. A lot of people were giving him just a Marshall crap, saying how he's back to his own self. Like he said on the podium one day, could have asked. But he was somehow, or his shifter broke. He was stuck in first gear, so somehow he rode around the top 10, first gear, the whole thing, or almost the whole thing, however long it was, and still, got some points made there, so gotta give some props to that for doing good on that. And you'd think he'd kind of screw himself in the points after having that bad luck there, but he's not out of it. In fact, let's say he's not out of it, but after the AMA posted that thing of Rox and Doc because he jumped right across the back, which is another thing to talk about because a lot of people feel that's unfair of the whole situation he was in, photos of it. But getting back to Barsha, like, he was only a couple points out, but Roxon and who else? This, was it Anderson that got docked? Someone else got docked too. But anyways, I don't know exactly what it is, but the points, like the top 5 guys, or around the top 5 guys, are extremely close. Somehow Tomac's in the points right now. You would think with getting that outside of the top 10 finish, that used to one, he would be screwed going into round 3 here. Even, with getting that win in round 2. Somehow, I think he's like, what, 3 or 4 points out of this thing, so it's crazy to think of that. Not really screwed at this point, but these points are so close. And again, Brandis is another rider that's in it as well, and he did not do good at all in the first round. The second round, he did really good, getting on the podium there for the first time in his full 50 career, which is good to see. And see if I can pull up the points right now. But a lot of those guys are so close to points, it's going to be crazy. No, it's 2020. Where's 2021? Brayton's even up there. That guy looked super good, Houston, too. 36 years old, and he's hauling the mail. Shout out to that. Okay, so I got both of the top 10, 250 East and 450 classes here. We got Barsha leading the points at 40. Brandis is somehow in second with 39 after not doing good. I think he was outside the top 10, and Houston won. And then Brayton is in third with 38 points. Muskin tied there in third as well with 38. Roxon in fifth with 37. Tomac sixth, 36. So what's Tomac is only 4 points out of the red plate here, which is crazy, beyond crazy. We got Malcolm back there in the number 7 spot. We're repping that 7 brand. And 7th with 34. Cooper Webb not looking too good yet. And like I said earlier, these guys can be hauling the mail, but they can get a bad start. And I feel like a lot of people are gonna talk crap about him. All the Barsha or why isn't Cooper Webb winning races? Why isn't he up there? But if he's getting a 10th place start, there's only so much you can do in that main event. And yeah, he's back there in 8th right now with 33, which is still 7 points back from the red plate. And same with Adam. Adam had that crash in the sand section in that last race, and he is in 9th, which is pretty far back, you think, but he is only 10 points back, which is not horrible. And rounding out your top 10 is Zach Osborne with 26, which is 14 points down. But it's going to be weird to see, you know, going back to kind of how crazy everything is this year, to take into consideration that, you know, all the reasoning, or all the reasons of how this championship's going to be crazy. But I feel like if someone can kind of get on a roll and have some good luck on their side, even if it's getting like 4th places, unless Tomac or Roxon or anyone really is consistently getting like on the podium or whatever, I feel like they're gonna make up some ground on the points, because wouldn't be surprised if we see, I don't know about Tomac, but if we see guys that are getting 2nd and then we see them the next week getting like 14th, which sounds ridiculous, but again, you know, we can talk about Ferrandis 2nd last week. He had to be around that like 14th spot in Houston 1. And then going to the 250 East points, I'm gonna bring this up right here since I have it on the screen and talk about it earlier. We got Christian Craig. Hopefully he gets that title. Definitely rooting for him. He's leading the 250 East class with 47. Colt Nichols' teammate on the Star Yamaha with 44, only 3 points down. Jet Lawrence, after having that bad luck in Houston 1, at 43. I'll wait here for a second before I go. That's while I read this off. Or battle with the But yeah, Jet's there at 43. Faulkner is only 7 points out, so I guess he's totally not screwed. He's getting so much hate on social media this week for, oh man, that passing track running, I'm sure. But, anyways, getting back to the points, we got Shimoda, Faulkner's teammate on that PC Kawasaki with 37, only 10 points back. Mosman on the Gasket, or Troy Lee Gasket Spike with 35. Mitchell Oldenburg on the Buckout Honda 31 in the 7th spot. Max Bowen, the rookie. Max is looking pretty good. He's the same age as Jet Lawrence, but with it being his rookie year this year, I thought he was going to be a little bit off, and especially after seeing it at many others from the clips I saw, which wasn't the whole deal of, you know, many others the Supercross and the motocross races. He didn't look too good, so I didn't think he was going to come out as strong as he is. So gonna give another shout out here to Max Bowen, rookie year, getting some top 10 finishes. And even I was going on about how the 250 East is not too stacked, and you got those top 5-6 guys, but it's kind of quiet after that. But like, they show Bowen a lot since he's a rookie. Man, he's looking really good though. But you got Josh. Getting back to the points, you got Josh Osby on that Phoenix Honda, and I don't know if I brought them up earlier. I know I brought up the FXR Chapel Honda, but the Phoenix Honda, I don't think I talked about. Another satellite team that's looking really good, and they got Josh Osby here on the East Coast. That, well, I know they have a few riders on the team. What's Peters? Peters is doing a ring cross, but I think he's doing here. I think he's doing West Coast for Supercross. So you got Ben, we got Enzo Lopes on that team. So these satellite teams are stacked. And then you got John Short rounding out your top 10 in the 250 class with 25 points. And I think he's on that, what's it called, like the Bar X Suzuki team. And again, another team that's coming up. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. But yeah, they're looking good. You got who was on the team? Short, and I could have sworn there's more riders besides him and Sean Cantrell, which is going to be another interesting person to follow, because growing up I really followed his age group of there's so many good races between him, Austin Faulkner, Joey Crown. Who else was in that? Chase Sexton was in it. Mothin was in it. A ton of great riders battling for years. It's definitely fun to watch these guys. And Cantrell's kind of been a little bit of a wild ride since he's been pro. And hopefully he kind of rebounds and puts in some good results here after Marx, or whatever it's called, Marx Suzuki. And puts in some good rides. But yeah, that rounds out the top 10 there. So normally at the end of the podcast, we normally do after the end of the round make our predictions. So I'll try to make some predictions right now. But I don't really know at this point. Oh shit. Predictions. I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like Faulkner's gonna screw himself again, but watch me with me saying that. Watch him actually put in a good solid ride, and he's actually capable of doing it. But I really don't know who to go with. I feel like Jet, Lawrence, or Christian Craig come out swinging for Houston 3. That raw speed of Jet Lawrence is kind of hard to go against him. But Christian Craig, man, he's looking like he's at a different level this year. He looked good even in Houston too, with him dropping back third after Cole Nichols passed him. Ugh, who do I go with here? Oh. Well, I think I'll go Jet now. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. I feel like whatever rider I'm gonna go with is gonna come back and bite the butt, because I feel like Jack can pull out and pull a sizable gap on these guys. Christian Craig just has a good, solid performance in the end. I'm gonna go with, if I had to put one here, I'd go with Jet Lawrence. But I do think Craig's going to be up there in battle. Yeah, there's a lot of fast guys on there, like I said a million times. This video got me a shot at Craig, so I think it's going to be a good battle between those guys. But Jet Lawrence is going to come out on top and win round number 3. What's it, like 7 points out? I said. So, yeah, they can pop some ground and Craig there. But I really do like Jet Lawrence a lot. I really want Christian Craig to win, but if I have to predict who's going to win, I'm going to go with Jet Lawrence. And then going to the 450 class. I don't even know yet. I guess it depends on the start, which I feel like you kind of go back onto that. But over here, he's just a beast, as we see here. I was thinking, man, he's going to get a bad start. It's going to be another bad round for him last weekend. Sure enough, or not sure enough, but surprisingly, he got a good start up there. Let's go ahead and get top 3. So, Chase Sexton's not racing this week. He looked good. Man, his style's so awesome. I would put him up there in the mix for main event win. Even though it's his rookie season, I think he'll be up there. But with him being hurt, I don't know, there's so many guys that can win it, and it's going to depend on how this track is going to play out. Honestly, I don't know, there's so many guys. But screw it, I'm going to go with Barsha or Adam, and between those two guys, I feel like, or did I say Barsha? I meant Roxon. Roxon or Heck, I can see Barsha being up there though. But out of those two guys, again, if I'm gonna have to put money on it, I would pick Roxon. So not like my predictions matter that much, but might as well make them at the end of the video here. And we got, so I have Jet Lawrence winning. I guess, heck, Honda HRC sweeping the night. We got Jet Lawrence winning the 250 East class for round 3, and then I got Ken Roxon winning the 450 class in the final Houston round before they go wherever. I don't even know where they're going next. So yeah, hopefully we get a podcast going soon though. It was 10 o'clock on a Friday night, and with Supercross being obviously on Saturday, didn't think we were going to be able to get it in on time, and even if we did get it in on time, I think it would just be easier and faster to make a YouTube video, so that's why I did that. But normally, you know, everything will be on our podcast, so if you have not checked that out, you definitely should. Oh shoot, did not mean to hit that. You definitely should check, not the compound, come on. Not like I'm going to erase it, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, you should definitely check that out. It's on Spotify. It's pretty much on every podcast platform. If you listen to Spotify, Apple, Google, they're pretty much on all of them. I think it's like we're on a total of 8 podcast platforms out there. So check it out. And then on our YouTube here, I am a little bit behind, or a little ways behind, unfortunately. But a big thing I'm a fan of just podcasts in general, motocross or just regular podcasts, is the podcast clips of like 10-minute segments of whatever the conversation is at the moment. So definitely gonna get that up for our interviews. Got a couple up with Joey Crown, a couple with John Gruey, I think, and 1 or 2 with him. Then we got a couple with Jacob Hayes as well. We got a ton of podcasts lined up for the future, the near future, and a couple ones with some pretty sweet guests I'm working. So it's gonna be definitely a pretty fun thing to do, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I think we're at like episode 18 now or whatever. It's been a blast to do, and hopefully I feel like we're getting better and better each episode. Definitely not. I'm so criticizing myself so much. I'm going over. Oh my god, how bad I am in my podcast. But yeah, hopefully we get better and better. If you guys are enjoying it more and more each episode, and it means a lot. If you tune in to our podcast or our YouTube here, and once we hit, also I don't think I mentioned this at all on any of our accounts, is once we hit, I mentioned this part of it, once we hit 1,000 subscribers here on our YouTube, we're going to give away a custom set of Prism Designs graphics. We're going to have to work on that in the near future as well. It's going to be pretty sick, so really pumped on that. Aaron at Prism been a sponsor of our podcast, and even if he wasn't a sponsor of our podcast, I feel like I'd talk about him because, man, he does amazing work. Cannot understand how much amazing work he does. The designs look sick, and the quality, which I feel like a lot of people are capable of making really sick looking graphics, but you see so many graphics out there that are so cheap and so thin that they start peeling off if rubbing, on your graphics. They're gonna start peeling off quick, which I hated. So I'd always go to the big name graphics. I always ran DekalWorks before, and they somewhat have a custom. I'm making up words right now. They somewhat have a custom studio where you can go and make your stuff. Add in your logos and your designs. But Aaron really does a good job in making it unique. That's cool. But yeah, he made mine like a Moto 247 version of it, based off that Geico Honda. Rest in peace to that team. That Geico Honda look they have going on the last couple of years of them being in existence. That really looks sick. I was really pumped that turned out, and our co-host Dean had seems like he has a million bikes. He has a lot of bikes. He had his snow bike recently done. That bike looks sick. But he has his Jeremy McGrath replica YZ250 done by Prism, and that thing is looking sick. He got a helmet wrap. I don't think I mentioned that too much to do helmet wraps. And from what I heard, he just kind of threw a bunch of ideas to Aaron about what he wanted in the helmet wrap, and that just turned out amazing. Like, I felt bad when I was talking to Aaron because I was saying, like, just the ideas I had in my head about my graphics. And I kept on, oh no, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then when he sent over the pictures of the graphics before he printed them, holy crap, this looks super sick. So yeah, definitely a great company, USA based, Michigan here actually, company, and not only that, not like a small town company that everyone says you should support because they're a small company, but it's like Aaron at Prism like makes quality graphics. I feel like I say that all the time, but that's the truth. Hold on. Excuse me. I can't. I feel like I'm a broken record saying that. Oh, excuse me. Well, yeah, I say it all the time in each episode. His graphics are amazing. I cannot say enough about him. Yeah, definitely amazing. So yeah, check them out. Giving away a custom set of graphics when we hit 1,000 subscribers, and I think that was all. I can't breathe. Oh, I got a cough. The thing I was talking about though, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, not only are we giving away a set of Prism Designs graphics to one of our subscribers, we are also, the plan is to be having our podcast available on YouTube as well. Obviously right now we have our short clips on here, which are only audio versions. Cannot talk it. That's what they call it now. Okay, I think I'm ready to put it up. Which are our clips on here, obviously, are only audio versions, which is, I really want to get video ones going, but we do not really have a full-on podcast studio going right now, and hopefully we get one going soon, and we're kind of in the works right now. Not a for sure thing, but kind of got a plan for one soon, so we can get some cameras mounted somewhere and have our podcast available on YouTube as well. Not only will it obviously be available on YouTube, but the video version I think will be a pretty cool feature as well. So not only can you hear Dean and I rant about whatever the thing is at the moment, but you actually see us. It just feels weird when I listen to a podcast. Like I mentioned a lot, I listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. It was always cool to watch that on YouTube. Since Spotify, they still have the video stuff. I don't know, I just don't watch it so much. But yeah, I think the video feature will help us grow a lot and help the Moto 247 show evolve, and definitely a lot of good things planned for the near future for Moto 247 in general, but especially for the podcast side of it as well. So stay tuned, guys, and I don't want to be like that annoying YouTuber that says like and subscribe and like my video and blah blah blah, but yeah, if you go ahead and subscribe, and the main goal right now is to get to that 1,000 mark, and not only that, but to be able to be monetized, we gotta get like buttload of watch hours, and I think it's 4,000 watch hours, so it's crazy. So a lot of watch hours, so we're on the road there to get monetized. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but get that up, and hopefully more content up as well. I think heck, mainly our only content right now is Supercross and Game 3 of our league races, so the plan is to get, I'm really not on this as much at all. I've been pretty busy lately, but some of this, some of the podcasts, and some other stuff in general to be up on here, so yeah, it'd really mean a lot if you hit that subscribe button. But yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to touch on here tonight before we get into round 3 at Houston again. So let's see how this plays out. I feel like it seems like it can be, no matter which way it goes, it's going to be a crazy round here for round 3. And not only is the race, I feel like it's going to be crazy, but the point situation coming out of round 3 heading into round 4. It's going to be another tight one, and yeah, hopefully Roxon gets it back in the 450 class. He definitely deserves that. And if you did not hear about that or did not see it, I guess that whole situation with AMA docking a couple of points, he jumped on a red cross flag, and I talked about it earlier, but didn't talk about it too much. Well, he jumped on the red cross flag, but he had a rider, I forgot who it was, but a rider was in between him and the flagger, so he could not see the flagger. The image of it was a really bad image of it, but you can see the point of pretty sure it was like a Husky in front of him or something. It might have been Anderson. Anyways, a rider was there, so he could not see the red cross flag, which he even pulled up the rules and everything, which is, and then I feel like he kind of got screwed. So hopefully he come out in round 4 with the red plate, because he should, honestly, should have it right now going into round 3. But yeah, gonna be a good one, and hopefully we get episode, I think it will be 19 of the Moto 247 show rolling with either or be a one with I'm not gonna say who, but we got a couple guests lined up, and there'll be that, or our recap on round 4 or round 3 it is. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching me be a spode on Supercross the Game 3 here and rant on about the first 2 rounds of Supercross of this crazy coronavirus filled 2021 Supercross season. Anyways, thank you guys and peace out.